Give me a
Yes,
high
sir.
five. Right here. Social distancing right there.
That alone, just drop the mic. The video's over.
We're
Good
done.
luck, people.
See you later. See you later.
Go find your houses, get your money, whatever.
Hey,
we gotta go.
We did what we did. Boom. See you. All right.
Dude,
Hey,
I'm
I'm hanging out here with Craig Johnson of Supreme Lending. The loan dude, right? He is
That's
the loan dude right there. So kind of give a background of our relationship. We met. I think I was holding an open house in Denison, Texas. Not a huge house, but it's an awesome little house. I'll try to get some pictures up here of the house, but it was a cool little house. And you showed up out of the blue, and
just dropped in. It was one of your rehab houses that one of your investors had done, and
correct.
did a great job of doing what Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Yeah, she does an awesome job with her homes.
Yeah.
So you showed up there, and I was first I was like, oh, are you a buyer seller? No, you're not an agent. Well, where I'm not used to lenders showing up to open houses. So, right off the bat, I had respect for you for that, that going above and beyond, because that's what I like to do. I think if you stand out from the crowd, you're going to get noticed. So I appreciated that from you from the get-go. So that's kind of a little story of how Craig and I met.
Got connected. Yeah, absolutely. And I always appreciate, agents out there hustling, and Bubba by far. if you're not tuned in to his YouTube channel, you've got to get tuned into Bubba's YouTube. Education galore. He's about one thing, and that's allowing people to know all aspects of what's going on, not only as a customer of buying or selling, but boy, does he support realtors. Oh my goodness.
The reason why, my YouTube channel, this particular channel that we're on, if you're watching on YouTube, was originally just my real estate, and I was, going after buyers and sellers. But what I found out is more real estate agents were watching my videos and kind of message me, hey, what are you doing? How do you do this? What equipment you use? Blah, blah, blah. So I thought, I'm pretty new at this myself, 3.5 years. So why can't I relay some of what's happened to me in this 3.5 years to some newer agents that may be out there going, hey, what the hell do I do? So that's kind of why I changed my channel into that, to help other agents. And so I've also created a brand new channel that just goes after my buyers and sellers, house tours and things like that. So that YouTube,
great stuff.
I wish more people would do it, but people don't. And that's fine with me. But I'm telling you, that's where all my business, most of my business comes from, is from like a YouTube videos, period.
And Bubba, how many videos do you shoot typically in a given week or a given month, would you say, on average?
I'm shooting minimum one a week, for one YouTube channel. And then I'll also add in, for my Facebook and my other YouTube channel. So, any given time I could probably do 3 a week, 4 sometimes. But it's a lot of work. It really is. It's a lot of hours to edit those videos and everything. So when I see people out there, other agents doing it, man, it's a lot of respect, because I know what kind of work they have to put in to get those videos out there. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. But the one thing I've always loved about you too is you've also been such an advocate of, keep it simple. You don't, you do it. You're so good at it now with the editing part. Like you said, you are. And dubbing music into this thing, I'm sure at some point in time, there's going to be a great beat that'll come in and, lift our spirits, if you will. But, you do that so well. But you also say, you know what? You don't have to do all that. Just do exactly get on video.
Yeah, I did a little video not too long ago. It's how to shoot a house tour video in 5 minutes, in under 5 minutes. It's pretty simple, using the phone. And, I do a whole video. I've got one camera set up, and it's filming me the whole time and I'm carrying it around on a tripod as I'm doing a quick little video. It's not the highest quality video, but it just shows like the person that's just getting into the business and all they have is, you know, this right here.
Right.
It shows that you can get it done. And
Yep.
it's just another, you know, video is just another way to get out there and get in front of people. You know as well as I do, it's all about being in front of people and letting people know what you do and how you can service them.
Well, and at the end of the day, it's this human connection that we still have as we sit here and socially distance ourselves.
Yeah.
And, you know, and thank God you and I are able to do something like this, and it's available to everybody else too.
Yeah,
That's,
sure is.
you know, so as we talk about, you know, the environment that we're in today, you know, I know you and I chatted a little bit earlier today, and my goodness, who would have ever thunk that the NBA cancels their season?
Yeah.
Was it a week and a half ago? About?
Yeah, week and a half. Yeah, something like that. It wasn't too long ago. Yeah.
Because that was, to me, I think, and please correct me, that's when kind of the landslide started. Was when the NBA said we're shutting it down.
Yeah, that's when everyone started going, oh, this could be real.
This got serious.
I mean, you know, we all kind of knew it was real. We all kind of joked about it because you never know until it really hits home. And when you know, and I think some people right now are not really afraid of getting sick from that, what's going on. Right. I think people are afraid of losing that income, losing those jobs, and just, you know, the way of life as we know it right now, it's kind of been put on hold for a while. And I think that's what's freaking most people out.
I agree. I mean, and I'll be honest. I mean, that's something that definitely catches my attention is, you know, I've even said to my wife, I said, you know, going to the movies, going out to eat, it will change how we do that moving forward. I mean, you know, when we sit at a movie theater in a chair, do you wonder what kind of stuff is going on in the chair? I mean,
well,
you know,
I'm going to tell you right now, my wife probably, when we go in there, she probably already has the spray. She's been doing it for years. She'll spray those seats down and wipe everything down. So it's a normal for us.
Okay. So I won't freak out if somebody walks in with hazmat suits on to watch a movie. Just, okay, this is the new norm.
That's cool. Yeah, it's the new norm. It's
absolutely. And, you know, what I've always loved about you, too, is you're always so open to give. So that to the point of, you know, who are we to judge, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, everybody's got to do their thing. And as long as we're trying to support each other, you know, again, sharing with my wife, I said, boy, what a time for giving grace to one another. And just, you know, having some patience, and maybe that's a part of this journey.
And supporting those small businesses, man, that are out there that are, oh gosh, especially some of these ones that just opened up. And I'm going, man, that's got to be tough. You know, absolutely. It may be, you know, it hasn't hit me yet, and I'm assuming that it's going to somehow, some way.
Sure.
But you know, sometimes adversity is good. I think.
It is, and I think there's going to be.
I don't want anybody to die or anything like that, but
absolutely.
Sometimes you know, I've had it in my life. I know it's totally helped me the way I am now. You know, working hard and fighting for what I want and things like that. So we're going to go through it, and I just hope everybody can make it through. You know, that's, you know, if there's agents out there that, you know, need advice or something like that, if I could give any, you know, I'm always here. You know, shoot me a message below.
Please.
Some ideas and some stuff that I do, like on the side. You know, I have some side income that I do, you know, that I've done for years, you know, before I even got in the real estate business, but stuff I just still keep doing because I like it.
Good.
Brings in extra income anyway. So
no, that's great. Well,
you know,
you shared a thing with 4 or 5 ideas in the real estate realm this week with your team. And I think even put it out to everybody on Facebook. Maybe share those 4 or 5 things that could definitely help in a time that is kind of changing the game a little bit.
Well, you know, I think you're talking about the virtual realtor, basically what I call it. And the reason why this subject came up is because some people I saw online where people were asking, you know, if buyers and sellers are under contract, how are they going to close? How are they going to do this if they shut things down? They can't go visit anything. And somebody quoted on there, or somebody asked the question, is there such a thing as virtual closings and showings and contracts? And an actual real estate agent says, no, there's not at this time. And I was like blown away. I was like, what are you talking about?
Right.
I've been doing this for years. So, just showing homes. How many times have I shown a home, or you've been to open house and shown a home on your camera, use the camera, walk around the house, do a video tour, FaceTime, showing off the house. So you can do that. That's a virtual tour, contract.
And it doesn't need to be edited, right? Just show it.
It doesn't have to. So what I do in the beginning, like I'll do one or the others first. I either do a house tour video, send that to my client, and then they want to do an actual walk around and ask questions like, okay, let's get a little closer look at the dishwasher or whatever, things like that. So then you do the walk around with the FaceTime there. And then, once you do that, and then you can move on to, if it's a contracts, we all have access to that, to email, to send DocuSign. And it's pretty simple. Like I use DocuSign. There's a lot of other ways to do this, get signatures, digital signatures, but I use DocuSign. It's pretty simple. And it's simple for my clients to basically click and sign. So
and that's where, from our side, as you probably know, the disclosure side of a loan, the opening disclosures, right? Not the ending, but the opening disclosures. All of those pretty much today are all DocuSign documents, electronic signatures.
Yeah. So when someone goes online, they can go to your page, go online, do an app, right from there, do all the information. Gets to you
10 minutes.
Get that pre-qual, right?
Yep.
Get that pre-qual. You're all set up, and you can send that out. So still, this whole process from starting to look at a house to the contracts to the pre-quals. Hopefully, they're doing the pre-qual first, right?
Well, we hope, but you know how that goes. It's okay.
It is what it is.
It is.
But still, okay. So this whole process so far, no contact.
None.
No physical contact. No shown to the house. So it can be done. And then, as far as your loan process, once you get that pre-qual, we got the house. I send you the executed contract. I mean, am I correct? If you need documents uploaded, pay stubs, things like that, they can do that online.
All electronic, through our portal. And again, takes you just minutes to do that. Yeah, really, really simple. In fact, as you probably understand, we love at the time of application to get usually asset and income documents up front so that we can take a look at what that picture looks like, because besides running their credit, income and assets are the other, big pieces of that puzzle. Yeah. That's for sure. So when we get out, we, focus on that pre-approval, because now we've gotten that upfront documentation. So when we issue that pre-approval letter, we're 99.9% sure that we're going to cross the finish line. And after 23 years of doing this, I've looked at a few loan packages and very blessed to do that.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I get that. So, okay. So looked at the house, pre-quals, or executed contract,
right.
And I could send title companies now, electronically, send them the contracts. And then, also now with some of these title companies, they have an app called, I believe it's called Zocam. Have you heard of that one?
I have not.
Yeah. So Zocam, I'll put a link below for that. So I've got this app and I've got it on my phone, and basically I can go here, I can send this app to my client, and Zocam is what it is. So I can send this app to my client, and they can take a screenshot of their check, their earnest money, right?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they put in their name associated with that address that the contract under, that title has.
Yes.
And they can send that, and then title associates with that contract, and then their earnest money is done.
All electronically.
All electronically, yeah.
All done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then I need a copy of that earnest check.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
There it is.
Electronically, I get access to see.
And I can set you up with the same app as well. So,
there.
Yeah. So we're all on the same page. We all got the earnest money.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Perfect.
So and
Perfect.
even coming down to there's still, I think there's a, when it comes to notaries, I think
Yes.
that probably are really our only, if we need a notary, that's our only hiccup right now. Am I correct on that? I know that's something that they're working on.
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Something that they're working on, but we can definitely do, obviously, as we talk about groups of 10 or less,
Hmm.
what we're in right now, right? And even if we got groups of 5 or less, that,
Yeah.
okay, notary and a husband and a wife.
Yeah.
So as
That's
long as
it.
we get to 3, we're good.
Yeah. So, but still, even with the notary, we have access to mobile notaries.
Totally. They can come to
Someone can
your
come right
house
to your house. Yeah.
in your environment,
Yeah.
and you can ask them to do, clean of the hands, right? Those simple
Clean the
things.
hand, meet in
Yep.
the garage, open up the garage door,
Totally.
keep the wide air, whatever.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that's all possible. But that right now, that's really the only hiccup I'm seeing in
That's
this.
it.
Well, we have option money, but usually us realtors can work that out. I've
And I
had
was
it
gonna,
worked out.
yeah, and in this environment, those option times are gonna be probably a little bit longer,
They're going to be
right?
put out for mail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're going to end up probably going to, is something, being able to mail. I had one, it took me 4 days, but,
Okay.
we all knew that it was going to, it was an out of state deal. We all knew it's going to be, and we all agreed that, hey, we're cool with it taking an extra day or two. So yeah, so that's one thing I wanted to let people know about. It all can be done. I know some people are still going to want to go view the houses. I mean, we had people looking at houses today.
Right.
So people are still out there looking at houses in person. I totally get it, so,
Well, I
but
think
there's a way.
I still think you're pretty safe, if you and a realtor are in that house. Again, very,
Hmm.
the rule is today 10 or less, right?
Yeah.
So I think, people can keep that in mind. And then the other part that you and I talked about earlier was write the contract with the I got to look at the house before,
Yeah.
put a condition
Yeah. You can
in
put a
the,
condition in there. Yeah.
and say, accepted offer upon looking at the house type of thing, after, physical inspection.
Yeah. And one thing that we skipped was, inspections,
Yeah.
hiring an inspector.
Yes.
An inspector, they like to do those inspections alone anyway. They
Right.
really do.
Right.
I
Right.
don't know. I mean, they'll say they kind of like you to come toward the end, as far as the buyers or agents, the end of the inspections. But really, they like to work alone. They can do their job better without someone looking over their shoulder. So even
Well, and
that process can be done without you there.
by that time, obviously they've trusted you to write the contract,
Hmm.
right, and guide them.
Hmm.
Uh, and they've trusted you maybe to say, hey, use Craig Johnson over at Supreme Lending. So you're really, helping coordinate their, targets who they're going to use and invite.
Yeah.
So sure, they're going to trust you, and you say, hey, here's my inspector. This is the guy or gal that I use all the time. I'm sure you've got a go-to there.
Yeah, we
And
have a few of them. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, everybody on your team who you're coordinated with can execute this thing, and we can still close at Supreme. We are extremely focused on a no more than 30-day close,
Okay, so that's something I
even
was
in
going to
this
bring up.
environment.
Yeah, that's something I was going to bring up. I know I'm going through one right now. I know we got the lender pushed us out a week. I'm
Okay.
representing the seller, so it's on the other side. So I don't
Okay.
have I don't have direct contact really with the lender, but they pushed us out a week. But the deal with them was their company took everybody out of the office, and so everybody's working at home. And basically, the processor told me they weren't ready for it. So they had to get set up. They weren't used to working from home, and so that's why we had to push it out
Well,
another
and
week. So
we too at Supreme, our staff basically, I call it the mothership.
yeah.
Uh, they're in Dallas, so our corporate office is right here
Hmm.
in the great state, and my office is, we're literally a mile and a half away from them. So I do spend some time over there. But yes, they are all now remote. like, I think, gosh, I bet 80% of the country is
Yeah.
probably remote, today.
So
But
go ahead.
I was going to say, thankfully, our IT folks, and I'm not dissing anybody else's IT folks, that's for sure, but just our IT folks have done a great job of giving our staff the ability to still execute as if they were sitting in their office or their cubicle.
That's
And
cool.
it really is so important, as you know, through this transaction, because having babies, getting married, and buying homes are the big three.
Yeah.
The big three.
Hey,
And
I've got a question for you. I don't mean to cut you off there, but
no,
I heard out there that real estate agents need to start putting in these contracts for 60-day closings. I know you just mentioned you are still on track to the 30-day close. What types of lending are you seeing that need to be pushed out that far? I mean, I'm assuming FHA, VAs, things like that, right? Or is it everything?
So the VA may be a little bit further,
Mm-hmm.
because the VA appraisal,
they're always, VAs are stretched out anyway.
A little bit anyways. Yeah, a little bit anyways. But everybody else, our third-party appraisal companies are spot on. I mean, they're doing a great job of taking the huge onslaught of refis that we've had, right?
Yeah.
Because refi market is just absolutely going.
Yeah, see, that went crazy too. I knew that was going to bog down
some
lenders just because of that.
Very much so. But we got ramped up at Supreme very quickly, and we've been able to handle the capacity. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And stay competitive in rate too, because that's the other thing that you'll see. And I can appreciate it if a lender doesn't have capacity. One of the things that they can do is maybe push their rates up a little bit higher, so maybe they're not as attractive, in the moment. So it slows down that capacity factor. But we've been able to maintain our competitive edge and still deliver a great experience in a absolutely unusual time as we sit here today.
It's crazy.
It is. So, I would still, tell agents, if I'm fortunate to be a part of it, let's write 30-day contracts still. We are still focused on that, at least here at Supreme.
All right. So one last thing as far as all this goes is financing rates going up and down. Is that what they're doing right now?
Rates are all over the map.
Day to day almost, right?
It absolutely, very, very much so. And, I think one of the things that, gets on the radar is our unemployment rate, right? So every Thursday, jobless claims come out. So this past Thursday, 281,000 were filing. The folks over at Goldman Sachs put out something this week that they think, and this is just crazy, we might see 2.25 million jobless claims this week.
Yeah, they said it's about to hit.
So it's gonna get crazy, and because of the unemployment factor, there's gonna be some pressure on rates because of the fact, with unemployment, how long can it go, and what's the stimulus package that we get out of it? Do we get a little foreclosure thing coming back in 6 to 12 months? Those are all the unknowns.
Yeah.
And as you know, from being a part of the market, risk is always priced. There's always pricing inside of risk. And until you know a better handle on that risk, pricing can be higher.
Yep.
So we're going to see some of that fluctuation as we go for the next, my gut would tell me 2 to 4 weeks, until we continue to get these numbers on what the virus is doing. So we're telling clients, and I would share with, folks that are out there that are thinking, great idea. Just, get an application in, for sure. Get with Bubba, get connected,
Yeah.
start getting information, right? Get some
Yeah.
information and just be ready. And it doesn't mean you have to do something today, but if you're ready and something strikes, you're in striking range. You're ready to go.
Mhm.
Versus, you're at home looking at Zillow, because a lot of time is on our hands now. A lot of opportunity to look at Zillow or Trulia,
Oh yeah.
and there might be a property in there that may catch your eye.
Yeah. And that, with all this going on, one of the questions I get is, on my side is what's different? What are you seeing? And right now, like, there's a few out there that are probably holding back. I haven't seen it. I just took the last week and a half, 2 weeks, 3 new listings. So
Right.
they're still going to, these haven't hit the market yet. So, and then we've got buyers, and not just your average buyers. I've got a couple of high-end buyers that are, I just knew that they were going to back out and hold back. Nope. Called today. Still
Right.
looking.
Well, and the other part of that too is, think about this. We're right now the middle of March, end of March, and this is usually when buying season really
This is it.
and selling
Kicking in.
starts to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we come out of this, hopefully by, let's just say, end of May, beginning of June, when we really start to get to breathe,
Yeah.
because I think it's going to get better as,
Oh, yeah.
I'm praying that mid-April to the end of April will be our challenge. And then after that, by God's grace, we get better through that time.
Yeah.
So people start to feel a little more comfortable, a little more confident, for sure. And now think about all the people that were thinking about buying and selling today. And now they're like, oh my, it's time.
It's time now. Yeah. It's just all going to shift. It's all going to move.
It is.
It's gonna get better. So we just got to make it through these few weeks of kicking back. What I love is seeing more people getting creative.
Yes.
I'm sitting there on Facebook and watching all these people do live music, sitting in their house playing. Man, I love that. I love people just being creative. So,
well, I'm going to give a plug to one of our guys here locally in the Texoma, Jack Christensen of Jack Christian. I apologize. He's a DJ up here, does a great job. And he's having tonight, Saturday, the 21st, a little house party on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And he said, come and join me, get dressed up, wear your pajamas, whatever you want to do, and let's have a party.
There you go.
Yeah, great point, Bubba.
Cool.
Great point. Yeah.
Well, if there's anything out, I could suggest, and that's wash those hands, stay clean, keep your distance.
Yes. High five.
Yeah, high five right there. Boom. See? All right, Craig. Hey, I'm gonna link Craig's info down below in the comments. If anybody out there, obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to message either one of us. Hopefully, we can answer those questions. And hey, if you want to join in on this one, the next time we do a little get together like this, let us know. We're
love to have you.
Yeah, the more people, the merrier, to say. Is that
absolutely
how it goes? I don't know.
Something.
Yeah, something like that. All right, Craig. I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight.
Absolutely, Bubba. Thank you.
And stay strong.
Yes.
Carry on. Loan dude.
Absolutely. Good stuff, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Take care.
Thank you.